Guten Tag, my amigo, is I back once again to give you tips to be ghosted less and dated more. Let's get cracking.
Here come the pain!
Never mention her beauty. The world at large tells you to shower women with gushing praise for their looks, but this is a terrible idea. Every man does this, but unless a woman's really into you, it just becomes meaningless white noise. Think back to your past dating app chats and ask yourself how well that's gone for you. Exactly, not well at all. All the other men in her inbox are fawning over her looks, so you must stand out from the pack. And a great way of doing that is to ignore them entirely and speak about things that are relevant to her as a person. See this chat here? This woman had a prompt on her Hinge profile about not wanting to meet men who were intimidated by her education. This was an ideal talking point. Have intriguing conversational bait on your profile. As you can see, she asked about my book, as all women do. And why? Because it's highly unusual. How many men do you think she's seen on Hinge who are writing erotic thrillers? Clearly none. So seeing that made me fascinating and novel. It also subcommunicated a few things. If I'm writing an erotic novel, I'm probably a creative and sexual person she'd have a fun time with beneath the sheets. I haven't, of course, said that directly and hence come off crass and try hard, but it is indirectly implied. So, what's interesting about you and what can you imply about yourself on your profile? Dating is like business. You're in a highly competitive marketplace and must stand out to succeed. Be original and creative. This woman had a prompt on her profile which said that
dating me is like heaven. I'm just the best you can ever encounter.
I told her to change it to
dating me is like Gillette. The best a man can get.
This is the slogan for a famous men's grooming brand in the UK. She found that hilarious because of how well it aligned with what she'd already written. I then told her she owed me one and she asked how she could repay me. So I said, send me an 11-digit number that begins with 07. For those outside the UK, our phone numbers start with 07 and have 11 digits. So this was a creative way of asking for her number. She found that hilarious and sent it across. Try to be creative. Your goal isn't to have a 2 + 2 = 4 conversation in which all pertinent information is logically distributed. It is to have a fun chat that brightens your day as well as hers. Like I said before, you need to stand out from the pack, and you'll do so by being creative in your approach. It is better to try something witty, fall flat on your face, and learn from the experience than to play it safe, bore her, lose her, and learn nothing. Be real with her. As you can see, this woman is very expressive with her texting and constantly responds. This didn't appear genuine to me, so I mentioned it. You don't want to be a suck-up or a kiss-ass. She needs to know and feel like you're an entity with a spine who will call out BS when he sees it. Women don't respond to men who can't do that, so little things like this are great subtle hints to your character. Have an air of mystery. At some point, she asked what I was doing and I said, fighting crime, under a gif of Batman and Robin. Now, not only was that a fun way to answer her question, which she obviously knew wasn't true, but I didn't directly say what I was doing. I kept an air of mystery. Something to know is that the more of a complete open book you are, the less intriguing and compelling you'll be. It's far more attractive for her to wonder what you're up to than to know.
Okay, so it's 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night. That means he's just got home from the gym and is watching Breaking Bad on Netflix.
Have an air of mystery and let her work to be let into your inner world. People don't appreciate that which is given away for free. Don't take it so seriously. She asked what my favorite food was, so I told her I was addicted to Thai. I then said, if you're not willing to accept me as I am, flaws and all, this isn't going to work. She found that hilarious, but was I being even slightly serious? Of course not. I don't have a Thai food addiction, though it is my favourite, and to be honest, I could care less if she accepts it or not. Still, framing it as a personality defect I'm taking to the grave hence need a partner to embrace is fun. Women tend to love little bits of silly roleplay like that. For instance, she laughed maniacally at that, so I said, if you don't laugh that hysterically on our date, I'm sneaking out of the restaurant and unmatching you. She laughed again and said,
Is that a threat?
So I said, indeed, glad we have an understanding. We're not having a logical conversation at all. Clearly I wasn't going to leave her stranded in the restaurant if her in-person laugh didn't match her textual one, but it was fun to say. It was a bit silly and gave her a great idea of how we would have bantered back and forth in person. Get her on the phone. I've lost count of how many times I've said this, but only 7% of your communication comes through the specific words you say to someone. 38% comes from your vocal tone and 55% from your body language. This means that when you're messaging a woman, she's getting a tiny percentage of who you really are and is likely to misinterpret things or get bored and ghost you. By speaking to you on the phone, something which requires very little investment, she can get a better feel for you and the vibe you guys will share. You will also find that if your call goes well, she's almost certain to agree to and actually turn up to a date with you. And why wouldn't she? She has first-hand proof that you guys get on and that you're a cool man. You got this. If you like this video, comment this video, subscribe to this channel, slam that notification bell, and also subscribe to my newsletter. There's a link in the description.